The message arrived at exactly 9:17 p.m., the glow of the screen cutting through the dim light of the living room. Working late with Joe tonight. Don't wait up. Just that. No emoji. No excuse. No softening of the edges. It landed with the precision of a knife between the ribs, clean, almost elegant in its cruelty. I sat there, staring at the words, my thumb hovering above the keyboard. The silence of the house pressed in around me, heavy and suffocating. There was a time when a text from her would make me smile, would feel like warmth in my chest. But tonight, there was only the chill of recognition. I typed back, slowly, deliberately, "Thanks for letting me know," and set the phone face down on the table. I didn't shout. I didn't throw the phone. What washed over me wasn't shock or heartbreak. It was something colder, sharper, something I had been building piece by piece without even realizing it. We had been together for 12 years. High school sweethearts who stumbled into adulthood side by side. We had shared first jobs, first apartments, late-night ramen dinners, endless talks about who we wanted to become. I had worked double shifts, weekend hours, holidays, just to build something solid for us. She used to tell me I was her constant, her anchor. She used to laugh at my dumb jokes, fall asleep against my shoulder during movie nights. I thought we were unbreakable. But somewhere along the way, I started to notice the cracks. The small ones came first. Excuses about why she was late, perfume that didn't belong to her, the way her phone seemed to vibrate only when she turned her back to me. I noticed how her smile was different when it was for Joe, her boss, a man in his 40s with 2 divorces behind him and a reputation that was practically office legend. And that's when something inside me shifted. I didn't confront her. Not then. Instead, I went quiet. I started separating bank accounts, moving my paycheck into a private account she didn't know about. I saved every questionable receipt I found tucked in her purse, filed them away with dates and times. I met with a lawyer over lunch breaks and told her I was just having a busy week at work. I was careful, deliberate, preparing for a moment I didn't know was coming, but tonight, it arrived. I stood, walked into our bedroom, and slid open her closet. The smell of her perfume hit me first, sharp and almost mocking. One by one, I began pulling everything out. Dresses she had bought with the money I earned staying late at the factory. Shoes she swore were on sale but cost more than a week's groceries. Even the lingerie I'd never seen her wear for me. Each item went into a box. I taped each shut, the sound of the tape gun loud in the quiet house. By the time I was done, there was a strange calm inside me. At 11:30 p.m., my truck was full. At midnight, I drove across town to Joe's office. The building was dark, its windows reflecting the streetlights like empty, watching eyes. I stacked the boxes neatly in front of the glass doors, one by one, until they formed a careful, perfect pile. On top, I placed a single note, handwritten in ink. "Since you two like working overnight together, she can keep her wardrobe here, too." And then I left. No phone call. No text. No confrontation. Just silence. When I got home, the bedroom closet looked like a crime scene, half empty, hollow, as though the room itself was exhaling for the first time in years. I stretched out across the bed that had once been ours and listened to the quiet. At 3:58 a.m., the phone finally lit up. Her name flashed across the screen. I let it ring twice before I picked up. Her voice cracked on the other end, fragile and trembling. "Where are my clothes? What did you do?" I breathed in slowly, felt the calm settle over me again, and answered without raising my voice. "Check Joe's office door," I said, my voice flat, almost casual, though my heart was a quiet drumbeat in my chest. The silence that followed was not empty. It was thick, stretched, vibrating like a string about to snap. When she finally breathed, it wasn't words at first, just jagged gasps, the sound of panic fighting its way up her throat. Then came the desperate stammering, the frantic denials tumbling over each other, a sob trying and failing to stay hidden. "You don't understand," she whispered, the words rushed, terrified. "It's not what you think. Please." I hung up. By the time the sun rose, her world was already starting to collapse. The office staff arrived to find a strange display, her clothes, her shoes, her perfume bottles, all laid neatly outside her boss's office door. Arranged, almost reverently, as if they were evidence in a trial. Whispers rippled through the building before anyone had taken their first sip of coffee. Photos were snapped, passed along in group chats, posted with captions that said more than words could. By 9 a.m., her name was already tied to his, like a headline no one could ignore. At 10:15, the sound of her knocking shook the house. No, not knocking. Pounding. Animal-like, desperate, unrestrained. When I opened the door, she stood there, mascara smeared like bruises under her eyes, hair tangled, her voice hoarse from crying or screaming or both. She didn't wait for me to speak. "Why would you do this to me?" she shouted, as though she were the one betrayed, as though I had set her world on fire for no reason. "To you," I said, my tone level, deliberate, the calm in a storm I had built myself. "No. I did this for me." She began to plead then, the way people do when they feel the ground breaking under their feet. She swore nothing happened. She said I was imagining things, that she loved me, that it was all a misunderstanding. The words spilled out faster, as if speed could make them true. I let her speak until she had nothing left but silence and tears. Then I handed her the folder. Inside, there was everything. Bank transfers traced like footprints, phone records with timestamps too precise to deny, receipts that told a story no one could spin away, and screenshots of messages that had ended any illusion months ago. A timeline, carefully assembled, like a case file, showing every place, every lie, every moment she thought I wasn't looking. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Color drained from her face, leaving her pale and small. "You think I didn't see it?" I asked quietly. "You think I was blind?" "I was patient. That's all." She reached for me, maybe for comfort, maybe out of habit. I stepped back. "The locks are changed," I told her. "Your name's off the accounts. You'll be hearing from my lawyer next week." Her mouth opened as if to argue, but no sound came. She swayed slightly, like someone who'd just taken a punch, and clutched the folder against her chest as if it might save her. And then it happened, the part I'd been waiting for. The moment her pride cracked. The moment she understood that the man she had underestimated, dismissed, lied to, had turned her entire world inside out overnight. I had not yelled, had not thrown anything, had not raised a hand, but she knew, with perfect clarity, that everything she thought she controlled was gone. That night, I sat alone in the house. The closets were half empty, drawers half cleared, but instead of feeling hollow, the space felt open, breathable. The silence wasn't oppressive, it was mine now. Clean. Her 4 a.m. call still echoed in my mind, not as pain, but as music. That first perfect note of fear, that moment when she realized she was no longer in control. Justice doesn't always come with shouting, or slamming doors, or fists. Sometimes it comes in neat stacks of cardboard boxes, in signatures on paper, in the quiet patience of someone who waits until betrayal has bloomed into something undeniable. She thought she had chosen Joe. But it was me who chose how it would end. And I chose it without regret. I didn't lose her that night. She lost me. And I made certain she would feel the weight of that loss for a long, long time.